A member of the Calgary Police Service has been charged in connection with an on-duty incident that occurred shortly after midnight on Sunday, December 11th, 2011. The incident took place in the Court Services section, where the officer is alleged to have used excessive force while attempting to restrain a suspect. The incident was investigated by the Professional Standards section, and the file was forwarded to the Edmonton Crown Prosecutor's Office, who directed a charge of common assault be laid. The member was charged late in the afternoon of Thursday, October 24th, 2013. He's currently suspended with pay. As this matter was an on-duty incident and the charges were laid as a result of the execution of his duties, the officer's name is not being released at this time. As this matter is now before the courts, additional details will be limited, but I am now able to take any questions.
Can you maybe explain a bit of background of what the person who's alleging the assault, what they were doing in custody at the time?
The individual involved in this situation was in our court services section on outstanding warrants.
Male or female?
It was a male.
Can you talk about the experience of the officer, how long they've been on the force?
This officer in question is a 14-year member.
Is there, now I know that this assault charge stems from an allegation of excessive force. Can you give any background as to the circumstances that this allegation arose from? Was the person was the complainant resistant in any sort of way, or is the allegation that this was some sort of unprovoked application of force? Can you give any clarity around that?
As the matters before the courts, I can't provide a lot of details. I can tell you that the individual in question was being booked into the court services section, at which time an incident took place, which stemmed from these alleged actions of the officer leading to the charge.
Is the individual the complainant known to police, like prior to this?
The individual in question was in our court services section for outstanding warrants.
Can you say what kind of warrants?
I'm not certain what type of warrants were being executed.
Can you tell us, without sort of citing, like verbatim giving us the criminal code, common assault, my guess would be that would indicate no injuries, no weapons, or can you tell us what common assault means?
The nature of the criminal code outlines, common assault with no weapons being used in the offense, and I believe have the verbiage of hit, struck, punched type of verbiage associated with it.
And so was this individual injured, or were they claiming that they were injured? Do you know if there were any injuries?
The individual involved sustained minor injuries.
So it's rare that these types of complaints are lodged against Calgary Police. How often did these types of complaints come in during the course of an officer's duties on the streets?
During 2012, there were approximately 550,000 police public interactions. Of these, 581 subject behavior officer response events or use of force events took place. That means that use of force was only required in 0.11% of the time. So it's a very, very small type of occurrence that takes place.
How many complaints were filed? Do you know that number?
In 2012?
Yeah.
I'm not aware, but we can get the number of citizen complaints that we've taken in 2012.
Minor injuries, did the person require any kind of medical attention as far as you know?
My understanding is that due to the regular course of duties, both the officer and the individual were examined for precautionary reasons.
What happens with this officer now?
The officer has been suspended with pay for 14 days, at which time will be reviewed and administrative duties to proceed afterwards.
Just because it only came up in your last response, was there any kind of assault being alleged against this complainant when you mentioned the officer being examined? That kind of raised the question whether they may have done something in terms of the officer.
There's always a risk of injury in all applications of use of force, as these are very dynamic situations, and as a result, for precautionary reasons, both individuals were seen by a medic.
Can you just talk about the length of time the incident happened, December 11th, 2011, he was charged late afternoon today? Can you just talk about, if there's any particular reason why, it takes so long to get from point A to point B?
As with most investigations, and in particularly these are complex investigations that do have to have due course to be thoroughly investigated. That was the case in this matter. It was sent to Edmonton, and as such, those type of delays take place.
If found guilty, what could the officer face? What kind of actions could be taken against him?
I'm not going to speculate, and we'll let the court process fall out, at which time, regardless of the outcome of the court proceedings, the internal proceedings will take place afterwards.
Just want to go back to the suspension. You said he's suspended with pay for 14 days. 14 days is not a lot of time for things to run through the court. So does that suspension, do you just keep reviewing it every couple of weeks? Because, I mean, court dates are booking a year and a half in advance at this point.
The matter will be reviewed at the end of the 14 days, at which time it would be anticipated that he would be assigned an appropriate administrative position.
Anyone else got any other questions?
Sorry, what is your handle?
It's Acting Superintendent, the Office of the Chief.
Sorry, I've said this a million times. If you haven't already heard it, my boss won't let me use the word acting, so is it okay if I drop it, or is that?
Yep, Superintendent's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Can you say what district the officer's from?
The officer was working in the court services section at the time of this incident.
So what is court services section? What is that?
That's probably formerly known as the arrest processing unit.
Oh.
It's now the court services section placed out of the administrative building downtown.
So he was in the process of arresting this guy, or bringing him in to be arrested?
And
Through the back alley there? Is that what was happening?
he works in there, so yeah, he was processing the individual.
So then after that, suspect was brought into APU then?
Correct.
Super, can you tell us, has this officer had any former or complaints filed against him prior to this incident?
Specifics of those nature form part of his employment record, which aren't disclosable for us.
So can we say that he's an officer with a clean record, or?
I don't have those specifics to be able to share.
So in the APU, they have video and surveillance everywhere, right? So was this an incident that took place while putting someone in jail, or can you speculate on that? Or?
The incident did take place within inside our court services section. At CCTV cameras are in place there, and review of those tapes did take part of this investigation.
Can we say that it was the incident was caught on tape?
It did form part of the evidence.
Sorry, and the person who's making the allegations, did they file them right after this happened, or has it been a while since they filed those?
The individual that had the alleged incident with the officer did not bring forward this matter. This matter came forward as a result of regular course of our regular review of procedures, and that's how it came to light, and we thoroughly investigated it as a result.
So it was a police officer that noticed that there might have been some concern, and then it was investigated, the investigation was prompted by the police officer, was it?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that in the regular course of our duties, incidents are reviewed, and as a result, a investigation took place based on the circumstances.
So was it as the result of a use of force report being filed, and then someone reviewed that and made the decision to proceed with an investigation?
All of that forms part of the investigation, so I'm not able to confirm.
But there were other witnesses there, like other people working in there that witnessed the event?
There was, I don't know how many other people were physically there, but there was some other people present.
Okay, any other questions?
Sorry to be annoying, just to clarify, regular review, is that like, that's an internal thing, right, that's done by the police service?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
How often is that done? Is it quarterly, twice a year, once every 2 years?
Each incident is based on its own merits, and so it's just normal procedure.
Okay.
And obviously, the alleged victim would be someone that CPS has contacted and they're cooperating with the case?
The individual involved in this matter did provide us a statement and has been cooperative.